Hello guys. Well, today we have a very hot topic. We're going to be talking about porn feed.
We are.
It's I've been looking forward to this one. We went away for a few days, so we're a little bit late on our live, but pornography has become mainstream nowadays. It's a mainstream entertainment. Apparently 1 in 5 searches on mobile devices is for a porn site.
Yeah, wow.
Can you believe that?
It's amazing.
And there's another, there's statistics everywhere, guys, but they say, or they estimate that the porn industry is about a $97 billion a year industry, and Netflix is $25 billion. So if those figures are correct, the porn industry is 4 times bigger in generating income than Netflix. And I just think, man, we need to be talking about this stuff. And it's really interesting to get online and search. But one of the things which is a bit sad is that apparently 56% of people who divorce, one of those partners has got a real addiction to pornography. And so, Fee and I have a personal conviction about pornography, but we don't want to talk about that today. We want to talk about practically, how porn does affect a relationship practically.
And when you think about it, it encourages selfishness instead of selflessness. It causes a disconnection between two. It causes isolation. So the very thing that you want, really, in a marriage or a relationship, we want to be close, we want to be connected, we want to have great intimacy physically, emotionally, and it really cuts against the grain of that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's so easy to run to porn, because porn doesn't say, "I'm sorry, babe, I've got a headache tonight," or "I'm too tired," and porn always guarantees to satisfy. And porn, if you run to that, to fulfill a normal part of our being, we're created as sexual beings. It always satisfies in the short term. So it's so easy.
So easy, and it's an easy option. But the harder thing is to actually work through your difficulties. But you think about the long-term result of working through the challenges that you have. And so, and also to any secret, no matter what it is, it really does spell trouble, doesn't it? It's betrayal. When I begin to keep something from my husband, I'm really, I'm betraying him at a certain level. And we know how trust is broken so easily.
Well, trust is foundational, whatever that might be. Whether you're hiding money, or doing a cupboard drinker of alcohol, or got a secret sex life outside of your bed. With social media, pornography, it's going to undo a relationship.
And you think about also too, like the whole comparison game. Like if I, for example, and women, it's not like they don't get into porn too, but I think men lead the way in this. But if my husband is looking at another woman and giving all his sexual that sexual attention to another woman, and I know about it, and this often happens in the counselling room, they may have started out kind of looking at porn together.
They're both watching it to try and stimulate their sex
desire,
life.
But then the guy might keep going and she stops, and all of a sudden gets very insecure. I would feel very insecure. Knowing that he's watching things,
and so would I, babe. I mean, I don't want you to be comparing me against another guy, and you certainly don't want me looking at some beautiful lady and fantasizing over her either.
And it really does affect a woman's self-esteem.
Look, it's really habitual pornography is really it's not healthy, and you can get online and check it out. There's one article here which is from a neuroscience, a PhD researcher, Rachel Barr, and she wrote this paper on how watching pornography rewires the brain. I just want to read a couple of the stuff about this, because we might think it's harmless, or we might think it might be really good to boost up our sex life, but basically she says that science is only just beginning to reveal that the neurological repercussions of porn consumption is causing mental health problems. It's causing sex lives to suffer catastrophically, and she says it can create depression, sexual erectile dysfunction, and it's just hijacking the neural pathways in our mind. But she goes on to say that long-term pornography creates sexual dysfunction, because what happens is
we overstimulate.
We overstimulate. Like, I mean, there's a thing called dopamine when we have sex. We've been created that this sex hormone and dopamine, we get a hit in the brain and we get attracted. But when we get in a part of pornography, it overstimulates and injects this dopamine into our mind. And what they're saying now is that like alcohol, when you first start, a couple of drinks, you can feel a bit tipsy. But if you drink alcohol every night, it might take 10. So the sad thing, and I'll just close with this, Fee, but it's basically saying that if you are habitually into pornography, it's rewiring your brain and your dopamine is always trying to get a bigger hit. And she goes on to say that users tend to graduate more from extreme unconventional forms of porn. In other words, Pornhub, for example, the analytics of Pornhub, which is the biggest porn site in the world, it reveals that conventional sex is decreasingly interesting to users, and it's been replaced with themes of incest and sexual violence. And so people are searching for wackier things on the internet to try and keep getting their hit because they just need to get that next hit. And that's just not good for your brain. It's not good for your relationship. Certainly, if people think it's going to spruce up their sex life, it's actually going to decay it.
Yeah, so much better to spruce up your own sex life with the partner that you have. And just because sex is a beautiful gift.
Absolutely.
It is healing. It is a beautiful gift to a couple. And so spruce that up. I feel for people that, because it really is an addiction. And many times I hear of people, from 14 years old, they've been exposed to that, and then there's a whole nother argument around children seeing that and all that sort of stuff, but it really is addiction, and there's a lot of shame around it. So it's not the type of conversation that you want to beat your partner up over, but it is about having a very real conversation and saying, look, do we need to get help on this, because it's like alcohol, it's like drugs, it can be very addictive.
Then affects your relationships. And so guys, look, no shame. I mean, this is the world in which we live in today. We're exposed to this, and
but everywhere.
It's everywhere, and we just got to realise what we want. And for me, anyway, I mean, I really desperately want to be committed to Fee and her, and be attracted by her, and not be making love with Fee and fantasising about something I watched yesterday on porn to get me aroused. I mean, that would just be sad. And I believe that, and some people do need help in this area, and they might need to seek some professional help. But guys, I know some people won't agree with our opinion here today. We remove our personal opinions. There's an overwhelming research now to suggest that there's no long-term good for couples or one person watching porn and the other couple not.
So true. So get the help you need, guys. And we just want to encourage you to go after. You are designed for one man and one woman. Make that the beautiful sex life that you want to have.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.